Okay. So, say you're being chased, and you need to quickly get into your base. Hidden entrance. Pretty much completely flush from the outside, apart from the button, which you can replace with anything that powers this block, or this dust. So literally anything that powers that dust is fine as an entrance. But I'm just using a button. And you can enter. Can enter. Make sure you're crouching so that the slime doesn't bounce you up. Exit. And can even lock it so that nobody can enter or follow you. And you also can't exit once it's locked. So, how does it work? So, when you press this button, or the entrance button, it powers this dust, which doesn't do anything to this dust because it only soft powers. And this dust powers this block, which powers this torch, which turns it off. That torch then stops powering this redstone dust. This dust then is depowered, which depowers this repeater. And this circuit here is just a basic sort of sideways jeb door-ish. Not really sure what to call it. And yeah, that dust powers these two pistons. So when that dust when that dust depowers and that piston stops powering, then 2 redstone ticks later it retracts, along with the red sandstone block, which doesn't have to be red. The way that the lever locking mechanism works is that the lever just stays on and keeps this block powered, which keeps the dust powered and everything else, even if that torch is switched off. The piston I'll come to in a minute. So, and exiting from the inside is exactly the same. There's just some wire running into the torch. Now then, the slime block exit, because obviously, as well as opening and closing, slime block's got to launch you out. This is quite large. So first of all, the button powers this block, which powers the dust, powers this, which powers this block. Then the repeater goes through here, powers the furnace, and of course then powers the piston eventually. So essentially this corresponds with the locking mechanism, so when you flick the lever and lock it, then that'll stay powered and that piston will definitely stay down. However, when it's depowered and I press the button, then /tick step, it powers that, which of course depowers the torch. Then this piston retracts. This piston starts to retract because it's no longer powered. However, that only happens once this is turned off because that's quasi-powering it. Then this piston retracts, and the signal is now able to pass through to there, which powers that piston. If the piston, because if the piston isn't powered by this as well, then it'll drop the slime block. And if I tick unfreeze, you can see that if it's locked, and I press this button, then of course the signal can't get through because the piston doesn't retract because it's still powered by this. So yeah, there were timing issues with this repeater and this quasi-powering the piston, but I eventually managed to get around that with some frustration. To see the circuitry taken out of the ground, it looks like this. It looks quite complicated because it's got a lot of repeaters powering blocks, but it's really quite simple actually. And this is just a simple door and depowered, which of course works by powering these pistons, and it's fine to power this block at the same time because that piston isn't there yet. And then when you depower it, you've got to make sure to depower that piston before running out of power on these with this repeater. The top wire is necessary because I say so, and I'm technically advanced. You also technically don't need to have that the lever there because that dust is powered by that, and that's fine. And of course it's got to be a 4 game tick or 2 redstone tick because pistons will otherwise not have retracted fully because they take 3 game ticks to retract. So yeah, I hope you can make good use of this contraption. Like, subscribe, do stuff. Please comment to see what else I could build. Thank you. Schematic will be in the description.